You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, we're back. Thursday pod. Daddy's, I'm Wim Hof, dude. I'm Wim Hof now.
What, you've embraced Wim Hof?
I am Wim Hof, essentially. All I do is cold showers. Hot water back on as well.
And you have gone cold?
I went cold this morning, hot water back on. Mate, look, it's a way of life now for me, you know what I mean? Like, I embrace the cold. I was born in the cold, technically. Southern Highlands cold. So, I don't know. I actually fucking really have enjoyed it. It's, again, I'm 2 days in. It's the equivalent of like, it's the shower equivalent of saying I've gone to the gym, and I'll talk about it until I stop doing it, and then I'll pretend like it never happened.
Do you think you will keep doing it?
Well, fuck, there was no reason for me to do it today, but I was like, I actually like the way it feels. Like, a shower at the end of the day is to clean the sins of the day off your body.
Yes, a cleansing of
sins. Cleansing of sins, whereas a shower in the morning, unless you got some freaky shit or you had a sweaty sleep, you know, there's not really much of a point for a shower in the morning other than just to...
Well, it's to get you up and about and ready to rock and roll.
And that's where a cold shower comes into his work. Is about a minute long max. Feels like fucking longer. Blast a cold. You're good to go. You come out, you feel fresh.
But are you feeling invigorated throughout the day as Wim Hof promises?
Look, I'm 2 days in.
Yep.
We had a busy day yesterday.
We had a mongrel of a day. A good day.
A great day. Mongrel of a day, but a great day. But every time anyone came past me, and you can attest to this, they were like, damn, you've got some energy today, Tom.
You had energy. Not at the end of the day, didn't? The shower had worn off by the end of the day.
Yeah, the shower had worn off by close of play yesterday. I mean, the shower can only do so much. It was a particularly busy day.
It was. And look, I've heard great things about the cold shower. I really have. I am too much of a pussy to do it. I think that's the long and the short of it. I like warm showers. Me and warm showers get on very well. We always have. And I dare say we always will. I mean, it's just part of my routine. Now, but I do understand where Wim's coming from.
I did it out of necessity, and now I get it.
Well, out of necessity, I've had cold showers out of necessity. I've had a taste of what Wim's on about, but to commit to what I would see as a radical change to my day-to-day isn't something that I've been able to employ.
Okay, well, can you do it for me next week?
The whole week?
No, I just want you to do it the morning of a podcast.
Okay, I'll do it next Tuesday.
And then, yes, because podcast will be next Tuesday, Punters Dribblers, because Eddie is in Tasmania and we'd prefer to not do it via Zoom.
Look, we think that the chemistry works better man to man.
Where we can touch.
And feel and taste. But
does that mean we won't be Zooming in the future? No, that doesn't mean that at all.
It just means it'll be delayed by 1 day.
One day. Where a 1 day delay is not possible, then Zoom will be employed. But
a 1 day delay.
Delay ain't that bad. Get over it.
Where were we? Wim Hof. Next Tuesday I'll do it, Tom.
Yeah.
That's my promise to you.
Yeah.
One that I probably need reminding.
Well, I'll remind you as well. Well, we'll probably all forget. So that's over to Dio, Dave and Tobler to try remember.
I remember Ryan Noakes. Do you remember Noakesy? A dear friend?
Of course I remember Noakesy. Well, I apologise for that question, Noakesy.
Well, you seem to forget everyone we went to uni with.
Noakesy was a friend of ours. He was a fucking friend. He wasn't like someone who's like, oh yeah, meet this guy's fucking boyfriend. You're like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
He used to go cold showers. I remember when I lived with him. And this is before Wim. At least... I'm pretty sure it was.
That doesn't surprise you about Noakesy.
And I was always like, you are fucking sick in the head, bruh. Like,
but
what are you
Noakesy's
doing?
like a guy who is basically just been traveling his whole life. Like when he was at uni before we got there, and then he wasn't there when we arrived. And everyone would talk about this guy, Noakesy. Yeah. It was like, oh, he just went on a backpacking trip for years. Like, oh, this guy's got a bit of that about him.
Well,
then he comes back.
Yep.
Like, you know, goes to uni for a little bit, and then as soon as uni finishes, he's back just fucking on the perpetual holiday or the tour.
And he hasn't been
world.
back since.
He hasn't been back. I haven't seen him in fucking like 10 years.
Like he comes back sporadically, but he hasn't been back for more than like a month.
You know what?
And how long's that been?
Yeah,
10 years?
Well, I don't know. It's been a long time. You know when you reach out to someone because like he was a good mate, but then, you know, if you're going to move to overseas, like it's hard to keep in touch with everyone. You don't, you know. So we haven't touched base for a long time, but I got a Facebook fucking push thingo The beanie burn was 10 years ago.
Oh
it was 10
my
years
God.
ago.
Was
It was 10 years ago, a couple of days ago. But that's a different story. I just got a push notification like, oh, you have a memory for you and Noxie. And so I sent him a message, go, hey, bro, how you going? Hope you're well. It's been a long time. He responds, how you go? I never replied. I just never replied. And not through like being an asshole. You just never get it. You know, there are just sometimes things you don't get back to. And then I was like, I happened to cross it the other day and it was like, oh, that was 6 months ago that I just fucking completely barred him after reaching out.
I've got a theory on that, on like getting back to people. If you don't do it in the moment, you won't do it.
It's not a bad point.
Because you just forget because so much other shit ends up happening,
Yeah.
and then it just passes you by. Like you've got to do it when you see it.
And you actually have to do it. It's more about like it's your theory, but it's also should be your practice.
Well, my theory is it's like you're dead right.
Because you don't necessarily put that into practice.
Well, but I know it's the only way it's possible, and I'm starting.
So then, if you don't do it in the moment, then you are committing to never getting back to someone.
100%. And that's just the reality because you do forget. You just forget. Or sometimes I'll remember like 4 days later and it's a little bit like, well, the luster's gone.
Well, but it's almost like it's rude to even.
Do you
get
reckon
back.
it's ruder to just
no,
just fucking bin it all together or
No,
get
no.
back late?
I'm
Getting
saying-
back late's better.
You got to get back. You got to go sorry, but there is the element with like how late's too late to get back, and it not just be like you didn't need to get back to me. At this point, it's like 2 weeks later.
Well, I think you just vibe it out, right? I don't think you get a week later. I think you just park.
But for me, it's not about like ignoring or going, oh, fuck them. It's like I'm doing something, I'll get back to them, and then my brain just.
There's no malice in it.
No.
It's like, why would you message Noakes in the first place? So
Exactly.
So it's
I
not
wanted
like
to say
you were
g'day.
fucking. It's not like you're like, oh fuck that, I don't want to reply.
I wonder if he listens. How are you, Noakesy? If you do, we miss you.
We miss you, bruh. It is literally about if you don't do it there and then, you won't do it.
I also think that it
If
does
you
not
employ
surprise
that
me at all.
strategy, I reckon our lives will change if we commit to that.
Okay, well let's try and do that from today.
Yep. As soon as you read it, you reply.
Unless you got something else to do.
Well, if you're on the blower or something.
Yes. Fucking flies at your first opportunity, or is that still the same?
No,
is that us
that's
still
not the
making
same. No.
excuses?
You got to do it there and then. You literally have to. Because otherwise you don't do
Okay,
it.
what about this then? If you open the message, because if the notification's still there, then I
Yes,
think
then you're alert to
then
it.
you're alert to it. But
Yep.
if you open it, you must reply.
Yeah, 100%. Also, punters and dribblers, this doesn't apply to you in the fucking inbox and shit. You know what I mean?
No, dude. This does not
if you think you're
apply
getting
to our DMs at all. This is not
No,
a fucking DM situation.
Nah.
Yeah,
No.
I'm glad you cleared that up. I hope.
Well, because I don't want cunts going, you said you're going to fucking
You
reply
said
straight
you'd reply
away.
as soon as you opened it, and you've left me on red for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's because what you sent was just. Sometimes you don't have energy. Like you can't reply to everyone, and sometimes there are ones particularly that are just like, I don't know what you want me to say. But
Well, look, you just put it this way, you don't count.
you don't count.
I think it was just best to clear that up.
Yeah. It's
get it
more
out
like
there.
text, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, that sort of.
Well,
that
just like
sort of-
family and friends.
family and friends.
People we know.
You guys are our family and our friends, but we don't know you, technically.
So, but you know what we mean.
You know
Let's
what we
not get
are
bogged
doing though? We are going to be meeting some Queensland P's and D's next Saturday, Magic Round with Kempy at the Caxton. I think 1 till 3, but that's a Dior check on Kempy Singer.
It's also not confirmed.
No, it is. He put it on his Instagram.
Oh, it's confirmed
It's
now?
confirmed now.
Okay.
It's confirmed officially. 1 to 3.
We'll be at the Caxton 1 till 3. We haven't been able to hold and embrace and lick and kiss our
Queensland
Queensland
Ps and
dribbling
Ds.
contingent ever?
No, never.
Never.
Unless like you're like I'm from Queensland and I'm in New South Wales, but like
Well, that you know what I mean. So if you want us to hold you north of the border, we can do that. The Caxton 1 till 3.
yeah, well, 1 to
Saturday.
3 we'll hold you. And I mean, I'm assuming that it'll happen in outside those hours as well, but particularly then.
And then we'll just be running around, ripping and tearing.
This is a junket. This is a branding exercise, and by branding I mean we're just going to sink piss.
We're just going up there on a branding exercise.
It's a branding
to
exposition.
go and meet people and fucking get on the piss and yip and yahoo. Tom will be going up a night early for the Manly game versus Brisbane. He's still
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
there?
right. And so will Sebo of About Even fame and Tommy Tobbs will be there documenting some of it.
Some of it, not all of it.
Not all of it.
I'll be up bright and early in a real fucking
Yeah,
state
I'll be booking
on
a flight
Saturday.
nice and early for you.
Not too early.
Nice and
I'll be
early
booking
for you.
I'll be booking it.
Dave will be watching from home. Sorry, Dave will be on the couch at home buying the wrong things for anyone he's buying stuff for and miscounting jumpers.
That's right. That's right. I will be on an early flight, not crack of dawn.
Cracker.
Won't be a cracker flight.
Yeah, I think it might be a sunrise flight.
But this is what I do for you, Max Downs. This is what I do for you. Wouldn't miss your wedding though, bro. No way. But I am prepared to sacrifice
Your own well-being.
my own well-being for the greater good, and that is to,
Go on a press tour.
yeah. Well, yeah.
The Hello Sport-
It's more of appreciation.
Yeah, it's an
to it.
appreciation to it. Hello Sport says thanks.
Yeah. Thanks by Hello Sport.
Is
That's
it-
the tour.
Yeah, the thank you tour.
The thank you tour.
Fucking this fly, dude. Can someone get
Get
that
the
Mortein?
This fly will be the fucking death of us.
Yeah.
This fly wants to dribble and yarn, but
This
I don't
fly
want
is
it
not
to.
long for this world. I know he wants to dribble and yarn, but unfortunately, it's not his show.
it's not his show. Now,
Just chuck it here and leave it with us, and then we'll just bust him when we have to.
It's the right one, surprisingly.
There you go. Well done, Dave.
what is I don't know what I don't care.
Not a
to know-
sponsor.
I don't care what to, I don't care to know what's in Mortein, right? Don't care to know. What I do know is that
It kills things.
this needs to be in every home, because you never know when you're going to have an insect or a fly problem that needs fucking solving. And if you've got a big one, you're usually in a cunt of a mood, and it'll make it even worse. This stuff can improve your mood like that.
Yeah, but there is. Chuck it here. Again, not an ad for Mortein, but like I am interested in the degree of poison that's in this thing to just like.
Well,
kill
it'll
it.
just be small amounts.
I mean, it's not that small, all right? Like,
Well, do you want to know? I know how it works. I don't know what's in it.
Yeah,
but I've
explain.
heard that basically what it does is like has some sort of chemical in it that speeds up their heart rate so much that they die.
oh, okay.
That's why they like
Oh,
wig
so-
out and convulse on the floor and stuff before they die because they're just like
So what? It's both like a little shot of speed.
yeah, pretty
This
much.
is just like spray cocaine
It's
for flies.
it's insect coke.
yeah.
I didn't have any at home just the other day, and where Louis' food bowl is, sometimes because he just has dry, he's just a dry food operator.
It's drumming.
When sometimes he eats and like little bits of it will be around the bowl, and if you don't get to it quick, then sometimes you can come in the morning and there are like, it's a fucking summer holidays at Antville and they're just everywhere, all over the fucking windowsill and the walls. Didn't have any Mortein, not an ad, and I just had to bash the fuck out of ants to death. Basically, I just had to like murder like so many ants in one thing, and listen, it was a problem. I felt bad, and Mortein would have helped greatly. Are you waiting for this thing to come past?
It's
Oh, that's a little. Oh, okay, that's one. I don't know if I want to. Can you? How's the
can't
sound?
smell.
It's not about the smell. It's about breathing in Mortein, dude. What are you talking about?
you can't smell though.
It's not the smell I'm worried about.
But you can't smell, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know if you're following me. I don't know if you're getting it. Can I blow some of that in your mouth?
But I can't smell it, so it's all good.
It's odorless, dude. This is the fly we're worried. Get it.
He's
Give it
gone.
here. Yeah, but give it here. I need to fucking. I dare you to come back, dude. This has got to be the best podcast of all time. Yeah, it's odorless, so yeah, you can't smell it, but I'm sure it's not good to inhale.
You can usually tell when it's about, because it's like little part. There's a sensation as opposed to.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a head spinny, fumey
exactly.
shit. That's not smell, but I can get that. Now, Eddie, I want to give our little mention to my lovely wife, Stephanie, for what
that's nice.
might be the cutest thing I've ever heard in my life, /funny /lame, but mainly cute. Not so much lame. Last night, her and her friend Tiles, sorry to out you Tiles, drive by,
Yep.
went to a hip hop dancing class for
Oh
beginners.
my god, you're kidding.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Hip hop dancing class. And, she was like trying to
That is fucking cute. That's fucking cute. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
dude. Hip hop dancing for beginners, and
I'd be surprised if they went to the advance.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it has to be for beginners. But like, you know, as she's in, she's like trying to get like a comfy, but I can tell she's also trying to look cool and hot, like, you know, like she's a fucking in Step Up to the Street sort of clothes.
Well, Step Up. Shout out to Step Up, one of the great movies.
Yeah, Step Up and then Step Up to the Streets, which is the the sequel.
World renowned.
World renowned.
Critically
Well,
acclaimed.
one of the greatest sequels all time. The sequel we didn't know we needed. Anyway, I just wanted to there's not too much, and I saw a video of it. It was very hard for her to show me the video because she set up her phone, like, so I, you know, filmed a bit of it.
Why?
And-
So you could see it.
well, I think mainly for her friends, for her and Talis for a giggle. But then she was laughing on the couch. I'm like, what are you laughing at? When she got home, and she was like, no, you can't look at this thing. And I'm like, I 100% have to look at this
Yeah.
thing, and I will not rest until I do.
I must.
I will pin you down and take the phone, and I will watch this. And if you make me do that, then I will upload it to the internet. But it was just so funny. They're there and they're like so uncoordinated. Like Steph can dance, like as in she's got moves. I don't have moves. She can
No,
move.
you don't move well.
She can move. I dance like my mum, which is no disrespect to mum, but as me, it doesn't look good.
I think you can tell that Steph moves well.
Yes. And she can like do dance moves, you know, like not just move to a beat well, but like, oh, you can do stuff that's like cool,
Yes.
but she can't hip hop dance.
Not yet.
No. But the moves were so like, you know, like sexy. And but she was saying like parts of it are like sliding on your knees on the ground and like doing some rolls, and they're just so clunky. It was like, you know, it was like baby elephants, not because of their size, just uncoordinated, like rolling around on hard floors. And she, like, they'd try to like do what this chick was saying. They'd get up and their knees are all bruised and sore and shit. It's like, oh my
I can't
God.
believe they're sliding day one.
I
That
know.
seems like a lot.
I know it is. And then at the end of day one, they turn the lights off and it gets all like they've got some neon lights. And then because they're practicing this routine that by the end of this thing, I think then they've got this full dance they can get into.
And have we seen footage of the dance?
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. So it's what the footage I've seen is the footage of their whole practice. So, like,
but have you seen them with the lights off?
yeah, lights off. So the lights off is just the same thing you see, but now it's with the lights off. Now it's about trying to get into your work.
And how? What did she
Eddie,
enjoy?
hold on.
So I'm inhaling that. I'm inhaling that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a sensation. It may be odorless, but that doesn't change a
It
thing.
doesn't stop the fact that a lot of that went into your mouth or into your nose. Into
Well,
you.
I could just see it wafting, and then eventually
I
you'll
went
breathe.
straight across you, but I had to do it, right?
Whatever.
I had to do it.
You had look fine.
Did I have to do it? Or
Well, I don't know.
do you think I didn't?
Did you get anything?
Yeah, I got him. He was on the arm of your fucking.
What if you got him? That's fine.
If he comes back, we're in trouble. If he comes back, you got a lot of that for no reason.
Well, if he comes back, you were talking shit, weren't you?
Well, no, I saw him. I saw it hit him.
Oh, you saw him. You saw him cop it.
Yeah, I saw him cop it.
Okay. So he's had a
He
shot.
copped a load of
He's
it.
had a shot of go and he's
Yeah.
off and away. Did she enjoy it? Will she be back?
Loved it. She's feeling a bit sore, but she will be back. But I've got something to admit, Eddie.
You do.
Yep. Only because it reminded me that I have something to admit more than anything else. When I was 13, 14,
Yep.
I did a breakdancing class.
You took one.
Yeah. Well, I took a couple.
Yeah.
That's it. That's me telling you.
Well, that's not enough information.
Well, I
Because
can.
if you share a little bit, I'll share a little bit.
I had a couple of mates. T-Mad, Paddy, I think Seb maybe. I think
Seb? Fucking hell.
I don't remember. Seb might not be a part of it, but I think he might have been. And a couple of weeks, organised by T-Mad, which should surprise no one.
It doesn't surprise me now.
And we went down to this place in Barrel, and similar to Steph, we were learning a breakdance routine, and you'd come back every week and you'd add strings to the bow, as it were. And look, it's one of those things that's stuck with me as for a long time.
Can you give me a little bit?
No, I can't really, but there was, like, it was a long time ago, but there was a lot of like, bow, bow, do, 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 do. And then like, because I'm not good.
Did you have to wear baggy pants?
No, but you tried to dress cool,
And what would that involve? Would that involve baggy pants?
No, well, I'm just trying to think about what I was into at that
Flat
age.
hat, surely.
No, I wasn't really a flat hat. Oh, I was, but
What
probably
about an
not.
S&P belt?
That was more high school SMP belt.
You
shit.
said 14.
Sorry, primary school. SMP belt, more primary school.
They go, well, maybe we got them late in Dubbo. It's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising. Yeah, that for me, SMP belts are more like when I was,
It might
year
have been
4,
year
5,
six,
6.
Right.
Yeah. But in terms of the attire, I don't remember, like, it wasn't like I was rocking up in like bandanas and shit. Mainly because I didn't have one. I think if I'd had a bandana,
Did anyone wear a bandana?
No, it was more, but it was still like a thing to be
Seb
cool.
reeks of bandana.
Sebo probably would have tried to pull off the bandana. That was when he had one of the great heads of hair all time. Poor old Sebo. But I will ask now for you to share.
Oh, I was in the year 6 dance group.
What the
All boys.
All boys dance crew.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking oath.
Did you have a name, or was it just like?
No, like it was like there was a dance group at school and we were in it.
And so this is. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And the podcast this week is brought to you by our friends at Swish, the video messaging service for Aussie and Kiwi athletes, as well as us. If you want to call us athletes, that's fine by me. But I just want to get in the ear of the punter and the dribbler because it's Mother's Day this weekend, bro. And don't fucking tell me you've got a good gift for mum. You don't. It's shit. And Swish are here to help you.
You don't have a good gift, and it's Mother's Day this Sunday. I repeat, this Sunday. And you're scrambling, aren't you, bruh?
Yeah.
You're scrambling.
Alarms are going off in heads everywhere.
Ding, 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 ding. It's not a fire alarm, mate. It's a Mother's Day alarm.
Yep.
And it's ringing loud and clear. But lucky your old mates, Tom and Eddie, are here with a short ball from the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Swish. You can get us, you can get Pap, you can get Murray, you can get all these hot, juicy boys.
Think about mum, who probably respectfully hasn't had a Gaz in about 50 years because dad's no longer up to it.
Yeah.
Dad's no longer up to it, and
Dad's not playing his role.
Dad's not playing his role. You know who's going to play a role? Cam Murray. Oh,
he'll
what
play
is
a
he?
role.
24, 25, cut from granite, perfectly proportioned, nice hair, blue eyes. You telling me that isn't going to get mum going for Mother's Day, Eddie?
Mate, three-legged Murray gets them all going on Mother's Day.
Something to think about.
Something to think about.
Now, if you go to heyswish.com, promo code is dribblers, you're getting 10% off. The real kicker, though, other than giving mum a Gaz on Mother's Day, is that a portion of all proceeds go to children's charities.
Correct. heyswish.com.
Jesus, fuck. What was that one? I couldn't even see
Small
one.
Anyway.
Listen, you got to be able to call an audible when someone parks in your car space and you are fully prepared to, metaphorically crack skulls.
Yep.
Because I was fucked off again to come in here and see that the car was parked in there. It had been parked in there since yesterday. But I have met that gentleman before and his wife. Nice guy. They've just had a kid. What do you do? What do you do? Do you berate someone or do you go, you know what, you got a fucking newborn baby?
Listen, as soon as he said that, I was like, I reckon that'll fucking break him.
And it did.
And it did.
It broke down my walls.
It broke down his walls. He's it's just fathers understanding each other. Back to my story.
Thank God, because it did interrupt a very crucial story.
In year 6, I was a part of
Dubbo South Primary.
the Dubbo South Primary School all boys dance troupe. There was so it's sometimes at school, right? Like it's mostly all girls, but then there'll be a couple of boys potentially in it. There was enough boys at ours to have it all boys, and we'd go to a Stedfords and shit. Like we went to Dubbo, Orange,
Oh shit, dude!
Yeah.
So you put on shows?
Well, like you know what a Stedfords are?
No.
A Stedfords are like. Fuck, how would I explain it to Stedford? They're basically like
this is great.
like dance, singing, choir,
Okay,
all this
performance.
shit.
It's
It's like a showcase. It says
Showcase.
a competitive festival of music and poetry and art.
So there's
Okay.
like
But you're competing.
in the school section, yes. So against other schools
who are dancing.
from around the area.
And it's not like one big talent show where everyone plays for one prize. Like, you know, there's like music and different schools.
It goes over like a week
Yeah.
or weeks. So like, you know, for example, my sister used to dance like for like, you know, after school. So then there's like a Stedford sections for dance generally. Then there's like the school dance and shit.
Okay.
If you get really good, you can go to Sydney for the Stedford.
Come down to the Big Smoke.
Go down to the Big Smoke. So we you know, we cruise around the fucking the state.
The regional circuit.
I think we definitely did Dubbo. We definitely did Orange. We might have done one more.
And what sort of songs were we dancing to?
I can't remember mine. I can remember my brother's because he was in it as well.
Kern did it as well?
Are you gonna be my girl? Dun, 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 dun,
and then what you're like-
and I remember that
Can
was.
you remember some moves?
I
You
honestly,
can. You
I
got a
can,
move in you. You can remember a move.
I can't remember a move. I can remember that like halfway through the song, this guy, I think his name was Josh, maybe he came into like the middle, right? And like we'd sort of like go to the sides and probably be clapping him and shit, and he would start break dancing.
Oh,
and that was
shit.
like
The finishing move.
that was like the finishing move, or like the
crescendo.
crescendo of the piece. And I remember, I'm pretty sure when we were going to Orange, he wasn't allowed to come because he's a naughty boy and he was fucking up. And we were like, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? We don't have Josh. Now, how did you feel as a dancer at that point? Because you can move all right.
I move all right, yeah.
You can move all right.
I move okay.
Like you can hold your own on the dance
Yeah,
floor.
I move okay. I move all right. I don't move the best.
No,
of
like
anyone
you
I-
aren't- you don't-
Like Max Downs moves the best.
Does he?
He sets the standard. He's the guy on a
Okay,
dance
is he
floor.
the
But I
guy?
go all right. I go okay. You know, it was pretty. You know, you gel your hair, like wear a white shirt, and like sunnies and shit. my brother actually had. We had like the DVD version of his, and we used to watch it all the time.
Do you
and,
still
like,
have it?
It'd be kicking around somewhere.
We've got some of those of Steph when she was not an only child, but she had her older brother's like a fair bit older.
Yeah.
So she was essentially like an only child in that sense. And there are some videos of her getting around from her mum. Like, you know, Steph would be going to like these dance shows and then she'd get home, but still in her dance fucking gear and like putting as much effort into her living room dance routine as she would be if she was dancing fucking, you know, for her life. And it's so like it's cute and it's sad and it's like just this little kid like, ha ha ha, attention. But the dancing, junior dancing videos, I'm glad there's no one that fucking filmed me. How is there no video footage of you, or did you burn it?
I don't think we bought it. I don't think we purchased it, something like that. Like there definitely wasn't ever a video. I'd be honest about it. And if there was, I'd dig it up because it'd be great content.
It would be phenomenal content.
I'm 99% sure there isn't one. But look, mother, if you're listening, which you probably are, you can confirm or deny that. But we
love to see the card.
jagged a couple of participation awards.
Okay, so you didn't win anything.
We didn't win shit. Well, because we were up against the girls.
Oh, okay, so you were competing against dancers.
Like all boys dance troops were pretty rare.
Yeah.
Which should surprise
now, were
no
you, Were you, was it something you were like pushed into, or was it something that you were like, this is what the cool kids do at Dubbo South Primary?
From memory, our teacher, I had a mate that did it in year 5. I didn't do it. He did year 5, year 6. So he's a bit of a veteran by the time we got to year 6.
Okay, so he's like the sort of kid who made firsts when he was 14.
But my year 6 teacher, Miss Farrell, shout out to you. She was great, and she was the dance instructor. So I think there was probably an element of like.
Wait, she was your teacher and the dance instructor.
Yeah, so
and you
she
think
was probably like,
maybe
why don't you
recruited you?
Yeah, I think I was recruited.
Groomed you for dancing.
Groomed me to dance. But dude, we loved it.
Did you get nerves before you up there? Or was it
Fucking
like
oath,
you
bruh.
love the bright lights?
Dude,
and
if you get up into the bright lights of the Dubbo Civic Centre, fucking Wednesday at 10 a.m., like that's nerves, bruh.
so there's a bit of dancing on this show.
There's dance in us, Tom,
There's dance in us.
which should surprise no one.
No.
Tom classically trained in the sacred art of break
Break
dancing,
dancing.
and I've got the the all boys male troop.
Yeah,
Fucking,
but also you've got like real
I've got
world,
routine in me.
but you've got real world performance experience
I
as
do.
well.
Dude,
I don't have performance experience.
I've got awards,
And that's probably why I'm like, I mean, I think that with me, when it comes to me dancing, let's say like on a wedding dance floor, I can have a night where I don't miss. And that doesn't mean that I'm impressive. It doesn't mean that someone's going, look at him having it, but I can come home on reflection and go, I had a pretty good night on the tiles, on the dance floor.
yeah.
But then I can have some nights where it's like,
It's just not coming together.
nothing's coming together.
Yeah.
It's a really off night. And I probably end up not doing much dancing as a result because I'm just not feeling it, you know?
How often do you try new moves?
Very rarely. I think
Do you go tried and tested?
I think you got to know what you can do, and it's pretty generic. But sometimes you feel like the generic works because I think it's also about like, are you dancing by yourself? Are you dancing with someone? What sort of music have I got to work with? Like,
I like a tip for young players is if you want to move well, you got to get the hips going. You gotta get the hips.
you
going.
got to have your hips involved.
If you're too top heavy, too torso based, it's gonna look like shit.
Well, you're a statue from the bloody
Because
shoulders
you
down.
gotta once you're moving down here, the rest plays too.
Yeah.
If you leave that fucking alone, if you're not paying your hips any attention at all, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a golf ball, bruh. Swing with the hips.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Shout out to Tom Arkins. He needs to be hit with a rhythm stick. He's got the worst rhythm all time. And off the back of it, one of the worst dancers all time.
Yeah.
And he'd admit that.
He'd have to. You know, I can see that from him being an awful dancer and having no rhythm. Like, I can see that as being...
He's coordinated as fuck, like a weapon athlete, but
Yes.
zero rhythm.
Yeah.
Zero.
I think a lot of it's like a confidence thing as well. If you are...
but it's also like he doesn't register, the beat doesn't.
Well, there's that. There's a reality to understanding. I tell you who can fucking dance? My brother. My brother
Will can dance. Will can dance.
And he can like, oh, you can do dance move dances.
No, Will's hot.
He's fucking, we didn't know that he had it in him. And then just one night when he was like 19 and we were all having a drink, I think at Mum's house, and he just started lighting up the kitchen with this dancing and we were like, what the fuck is this, Will? He's like, I don't know, just been doing it. Just never seen it before. And I'm like, it immediately made me feel less than because I want to be able to dance. And I just am there trying to just hold my own. And then now I've got Will, who is like fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. There is something like primal about dancing in that you don't often do it. And it's sort of like it's sort of weird. It's not part of your day to day. So when you're doing it, it's sort of like it's a bit different, but everyone loves it.
Not everyone loves it. But I
if
know
you
what
don't
you mean.
love it, but if you don't love it, it's because
You can't do it.
Well, either you can't do it or you're way too insecure.
Yes.
But like it's enjoyable.
It's fun.
It's
yes.
fun
It's
to
fun.
do it.
Move your body
Like
to
if you
some
had a
music.
couple of beers and something comes on, a song you like
I wonder
try
what
to not move.
Yeah, I wonder what the sort of like evolutionary thing from dancing is, because it obviously comes from when we're all tribes based.
But it lives deep within, like
That's what I mean.
children, bro.
Yes. Yeah. Well, dude, Evie loves to dance.
That's what I mean.
She
bro.
loves to dance. Cold Cold Heart by Dua Lipa. Shout out to you. But she does. But obviously she's learning that off mum and dad. But like, what is the?
Or is it in them?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, it's not like she just goes one day, I'm going to dance. Like, there's certainly
like there's certain songs that'll come on and you're like, you can't ignore your body and your urges.
Dude, your
like
body goes.
Your body just wants to fucking move.
Your body wants what it
bro.
wants.
Your body wants what it wants, mate. Like if Hound Dog comes on by Elvis Presley and your hips don't start moving, dude, like
You're dead. You're probably dead.
You're probably not with us anymore.
No.
That's when you know that you're on your way to the fucking pearly gates.
Yes. R.I.P. Because the Hound Dog will get you moving. Or even a twist and shout.
Twist and shout. And twist and shout.
Is that the Beatles? It is the Beatles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking oath. Beatles get you moving. Elvis gets you moving. MJ gets you moving.
Yeah. MJ gets you moving.
Moving.
Dude.
Bruh. No one fucking moved like that cunt.
No. And the problem with MJ songs, though, I think, is that they get you moving so much, everyone thinks they're MJ, and no one is, and you can't move like him. And so there's sort of something. There's an inherent problem there for me.
There is, but there's also he's got your Smooth Criminal comes on or something, like fucking good luck to you if you aren't up and about.
Billie Jean.
Oh, bruh, don't stop till you get enough. Come on, like. I understand what you're saying. Everyone thinks they're MJ, but I sort of like that.
That's also kind of good.
It's sort of cool how everyone's like trying to fucking be someone that no one can be. Like
there is a problem. I do have a problem with people.
Moonwalking's
people who think they can dance better than they can, and they dance with the confidence of someone who can dance better than they can. You know what I mean? So someone who's on there, and it's like, because it's all well and good to be on the dance floor and be having a good time and moving, but there are people who are feeling themselves way too much, and you're like, you can't actually dance that well, but you're like,
right,
trying to moonwalk.
They're going, they're going a little over the top. Sometimes you got to stay in your own lane.
Well, you just got to know. You got to know
where the line
who
is.
you are and what you are,
and
what your actual capabilities are,
and how and what that what
how
that looks like. Well, how that looks visually
with the optics.
Yeah, what are the optics like? What are the optics like? I mean, if we can use a Seinfeld reference. Little kicks when Elaine starts dancing and everyone's like,
that's right.
You don't want to be Elaine in this situation.
And think that you've got some ball and ass move that it's kind of all you got.
If you think you've got a showstopper and it's not, put it away. And I tell you how you know if you've got a showstopper. People will tell you.
If you have a showstopper, the show stops.
People will tell you.
If you don't have a showstopper, you're going to give it a couple of cracks and it won't do anything and then you need to stop it.
People will literally say to you, fuck me, you move well, bro.
That's a showstopper right there.
Like you will get told. And if you don't get feedback on these new fucking out there moves you're dropping, put them away. Put them away.
Yep. Now, I have no issue either with moves that aren't showstoppers, but you're slowly trying to, maybe you've seen it somewhere and you're trying to slip it into your repertoire.
That's fine.
Where you go, this is just a simple move to potentially give me a little bit more diversity.
That's absolutely fine. We're talking more about like moonwalks and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like Streety. Streety used to love to get in the middle of a dance floor and clear it and start breakdancing when we were coming up.
Of course he did. And he'd go to the worm.
Go to the worm, but he'd always do the reverse worm. I think if you can't do the front worm, don't worm. That's my opinion. Because the reverse worm isn't a worm. In my opinion. Now, that's coming from a guy who used to be able to do the worm properly. Now, difficult. I'm heavy.
Well, you're heavier.
The ground will shake.
And your arms are, and your core's gone.
It's not so much about the arms. It's more core. But if you reverse worm, fuck off, in my opinion. And that's just a respect. I really fully respect you, but like, it's not the worm if it's a reverse.
Worms can travel both forwards and backwards, according to the science.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that the worm is a forwards move.
Well, if it can be, well.
Listen, if you could worm forward, you wouldn't worm backward. That's what I think. If you can do the worm forward, you won't do it backward. Now, Scotty Too Hottie, I believe he is no longer with us, RIP, from wrestling. He was the one who I think made the worm famous personally. And he was a worm forward guy. I think that it's easier to worm backwards. It's a confidence thing as well. And if you're worming backwards, you're basically a cuck. And that's most people.
Fair enough. Strong opinions. And I hear you. Shout out to Street.
You come in for strong opinions.
Shout out to Street and Carly. Had a kid.
Yes.
Proud of you.
Yes. Street
Great
and
stuff.
Coo. Congratulations.
Fucking oath.
Little baby Rose.
Little
Cute as a
Rosie.
button.
Oh, cute as a button, little Rosie.
Cute as a button.
Now, to round out dancing, just go out there this weekend, punters and dribblers, and fucking give it your all.
Yep.
That's all I ask. And if you are lacking a bit of confidence on the dance floor, hear me. Have a couple of beers, have a couple of tequilas.
Couple of marks.
Go out there and just think hips first.
Release the hips.
Release your hips. Hips first. If you hips first, you're going to walk off that dance floor and put your head on the pillow that night going, I have made such inroads that I'm now a different person.
Yeah.
And your whole life will change.
Yeah. Hips first.
Hips first, bro.
Shout out to Stefan Talia. Also, enjoy your hip hop dancing, girls.
I want to see this unfold.
Yes.
I want to be invited to your own Eisteddfod,
Yeah.
or if there isn't Eisteddfod's, like your show night.
Yeah, show night. We want
Because they all do, all these places do show nights.
They're all building to a show. Now, funnily enough,
It's usually in December, which is a great time for show nights because everyone's in a great mood.
Yes.
It's festive.
And
the year's done.
judging on the footage, they probably need till December.
Well, generally speaking, they get a large chunk of the year, Tom. Yeah.
Now, something else just before about their fucking hip hop night is it's apparently hip hop with high heels. Because when they were there, the chick's like, all right, now did anyone bring their high heels? And Steph was like, excuse me?
Why is what to be like? Is that like hot?
I don't know, dude.
Seems
but
impractical.
I tell you what's not hot, snapping your ankle.
Seems impractical.
It does. So I don't know. We'll watch this space, but yeah, good luck, girls. From one dancer to another, you and I being those dancers, to another dancer / boxer. We got the opportunity to sit down yesterday with Paul Gallen of Gal fame, my man who needs no introduction, but also Harry Garside of up-and-coming Australian lightweight boxer who also does ballet. I could not get enough of that dude. And we had it was a short chat, it's probably like 15, 20 minutes. There'll be a podcast out on Sunday with our chats with him and Gal ahead of their fights next Wednesday in Newey, which we're also going to, which if you're not going to, you can buy on Main Event through KO.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
It's going to be a fucking ripper night.
It will. But Harry Garside is one interesting individual.
I could not get enough of Harry. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I don't really ever go in with
I didn't really
a
know much
crazy
about him other than
opinion.
that
Do
he
you know
boxed.
what I mean?
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, that he boxed, he did some ballet, and that he was
Yes.
up and coming, and that he won bronze for the nation, and that he was highly touted. That's all I knew. But he was so fucking articulate, like so articulate that I was
Inarticulate.
taken aback the moment he'd finish a sentence, being like, "Oh, bro, you can talk."
Yeah.
Put it this way, punters and dribblers: no ums, no ahs. That articulate, like shit, you don't really hear out of anyone that isn't a barrister. You know what I mean? No one speaks like that.
Certainly not you or me.
Not anyone.
When we're trying to think of our next question, it's like, so, and he's like, well, yes, you've got to understand that. Da, 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 da. But like, but for someone of his age, and also I think you are going to find like the more people we speak to who are high achievers and people who like do crazy shit, I guess the more we potentially will become exposed to, you know, I guess what it takes a little bit. But I've just never really come across anyone like him in the way that he was very thoughtful and considered and interested and interesting and not insecure and like, you know, again, the time we had was just not enough time to fucking get balls deep into Harry Garside. But the dude can fight like a motherfucker. And he's the Australian lightweight champion. Same weight division as Kambosos, baby. Imagine if something ever happened there. But like, he's just an interesting dude. And I'm very excited to see him biff next week.
I'll tell you why I was impressed is that he even said it yesterday that before the Olympics, which is what, September last year, no one knew who the fuck he was. So it wasn't like he's been doing all this media for ages, you know, like he's new to the game.
Yeah.
Like you know, when you talk to athletes, at least in our time, I find at least the ones that are the best speakers generally are ones that have been fucking media trained over 15 years. So they're
Yes.
usually quite a bit older, if not retired. Whereas he's 24
Yeah.
and he's been doing it for like 6 months.
And he's as good as anyone you've spoken
He's
to.
better than anyone,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Just his ability to give thoughtful answers and not just, you know, default to media training or whatever. But he also said something before we started because it had been a long day. And again, it was just an insight into the dude. And we'd known going in that they're doing media, right? So they'd been getting fucking pounded in the arse all day by media, consensually, but tired at the end of the day of pounding. And I was just like, fuck, long day for you, mate. And he goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, mate, like he sort of referenced something about like he was a plumber before this all kicked off. He was like, mate, I've spent days on the tools and done this sort of shit. He's like, I fucking love this. Like, this is way better. Like, not in a disrespectful sense that he's like, I'm super grateful for where I'm at and what I get to do for work and this is what I'm doing. And it's just like, Oh yeah, cool. Like that's of course. Firstly, you're absolutely right, and secondly, it was nice to hear him just sort of say it.
It was, but it immediately put everything into context. You're like, okay, you're absolutely like, that's a fucking terrific point you make. And with that knowledge in the back of the
Well,
duffel,
it's just a great attitude.
it's a great, but everything's better off the back of it. I couldn't stop thinking about this time, if I can be honest with you. I was like, I reckon you would be great at talking to your missus.
in terms of like if you
Like after a long day, and sometimes all they want to do is yarn, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to chat. Like I don't have any goss.
I've got nothing.
I'm like, I reckon he'd always have something to fucking go to.
He'd be a great partner.
Don't you reckon he'd be a great partner, a great lover?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I was getting.
Again, we don't want to get too. There's some interesting yarns in there that he was telling around abstinence. Oi, how are you, brah?
What up, bruh?
Yeah, come in. It's all good. We can pause. We're taking a break. Eddie, what if I was to tell you that there is a place, a magical place, online, on the internet, not the magical place, but a magical place that exists on the internet, where if you were, if you had some issues of a medical persuasion that you were needing to be addressed, that you would be able to go to this place called pilot.com.au and be linked up with a doctor who you can talk to privately and you don't have to go into, because sometimes you can't be fucked to go to a doctor. And if you would use the promo code Dribblers, you're going to get your first consult with that doctor for free. And that is all prescription-based remedies delivered to your door discreetly. What would you say?
I'd say that place sounds so magical, so wondrous, so desirable, so applicable, so for me that I'd collapse in a heap.
Yep.
But you're telling me this place is real?
It is real. And if you were to collapse in a heap and there was a prescription-based remedy for that, then they'd be able to help you with that as well.
Wow. So you're saying if I go to pilot.com.au/hellosport and use the promo code Dribblers, I'm going to get my first doctor's consult for free? Gee, Tom, that really is magic.
Thanks, Pilot. All right, we had a little break there. Ice popped in, came through to check out the stewed, but we are hearing now that we have another dancer in our midst. Tobler.
Yeah, so I was just mentioning to Dave in that little break there that I'm actually the son of an Australian Irish dancing champion.
Who? Which, your dad?
Oh, my mum.
Oh, your mum.
Definitely not my dad.
Your mum is an Irish dancing champion.
When she was like 16 or something, I went to nationals and won.
Okay, so what have you got? You can do it though.
I can't Irish dance specifically, but we were all encouraged to dance when we were kids, and I used to do Eisteddfods and all the Wakakiri and whatever they used to call it in primary school and shit. And then actually in year 6, we won the state Eisteddfod with a contemporary dance to Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's good.
Full white outfits, like
Can you give us a go?
Yeah. I think at some point, and maybe we'll allow him the freedom to get shit-faced before he does it, because maybe, you don't want to necessarily bare your soul through movement to the world completely sober when he hasn't, signed up necessarily to the front-facing aspect of this little organisation we have. But I'd love to see Tobler half-cut Irish jigging in here at some point soon.
In front of that green screen.
In front of the green screen.
So it looks like he's in Ireland.
Yes. And I think that we, basically make it as part of his job.
Yes.
So it's not something you can say no to.
I think that's exactly what we do.
I'll have to watch some Michael Flatley videos.
Yep. We can do that. Well, we might even get Michael Flatley on the green screen.
Do whatever you need to do.
Do we get him those big loose shirts?
Yep. We dress him up.
Yeah, we dress him up.
We dress him up. That's fucking hilarious. I can't wait to see that. My cousin was actually a world champion Irish dancer.
Really?
Yep.
World champion Irish dancer?
Yep.
Your cousin?
My cousin.
Name?
Connor.
Bullshit.
Why the fuck would I make that
I
up?
don't know. I just felt, because Connor's such an obvious Irish name, I just felt like you might be lying.
His name's Connor Simpson. His mum, Monica, had like an Irish dancing school. There's Irish dancing in our family. So I resonate with Tobler on that level.
Have you got Irish in you?
Well, I don't think. Well, maybe on his mum's side. She's not my family.
Do you know where the school was?
Canberra.
Oh, okay. Because there's also like teachers in my family as well. that owned a school?
Well, they'd all know each other.
Probably.
Definitely.
The Irish dancing fraternity.
100%. They'd 100% know each other.
I do actually have the
In fact,
video.
how old are you?
I'm 24.
You'd be similar ages.
Where is
Maybe my
Connor
mum-
Simpson
I
now?
think he's in Canberra.
Still dancing?
Not sure if he's still dancing. I don't think he is.
The Irish Dancing World Championship title does not come with financial.
No,
Riches?
I don't think it does. I'm not sure you're shouting in glory. It's not like winning
Well,
the
you
Formula
might be
One.
shouting glory, but you're not shouting riches.
No, you're not shouting riches.
Of a
And he won
monetary
his
sense.
age group as well. You know what I mean? Like he's not the overall world champion of the world. Like you fucking like Lewis Hamilton when he wins Formula One. It's
Okay.
not quite the same
It's
thing.
not quite the same. It's not the same.
But it's not nothing.
yeah.
It's not nothing.
Okay, cool.
And that's terrific information, Tobler.
Thank
I
you,
do
Tola.
have the video of the state of Stedford
Okay, well,
winning.
we'll need that.
What the fuck?
We'll
It's a
need
bit
that.
blurry, but we dig it up.
We'll
every-
need that.
every
I
now
don't
and
care,
then.
bruh.
We'll need that. We're going to need that. You dig that up for us.
You dig that up.
That's your cousin, Eddie.
Is that my cousin?
Yeah.
There he goes.
Put this into the potty.
He's a
Holy
beast.
shit, dude. It's not the most panty dropping dance move.
No,
is
it's not. It's not a panty dropper.
it? Irish dancing will not drop panties. Maybe in Ireland it will. Fuck, he can move.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
Tell you what, they don't really release the hips in Irish dancing.
No, which goes
Goes against
everything I said.
But I mean, look, it's also, I guess it depends though. It's not, I think panty dropping is hip moving is required, you know?
The Irish, it's an interesting dance by the Irish. You know?
Yeah. Oh, the tap of the feet together. Look at him, stiff as a board. Connor Sims. Do you catch up with Connor often?
Not a heap. No.
Fuck, he's
Every now and then.
going for it. What's he doing for a crust these days?
think
Oh, look at the leg
I
movement.
believe he's in finance. Smart cookie. It's good stuff.
That's good shit.
That's
Connor
good
Sims.
stuff.
Anyway, Edward,
Anyway, Thomas.
shout out to Garside. I think we were talking about him before.
Were we?
I think we might have been. Who cares? He's a legend. And we podcast with him and with Gal will drop. It's one podcast. That's Sunday night on Poddy and on YouTube. But I got myself in a little bit of trouble last night.
Did you pour a couple?
I did. So we had a long day. Obviously, we had About Even, number one sports betting show on the planet. Then we went straight into Bloke in a Bar podcast with the great and powerful Denon Kemp. That was a 2-houry. Nice, long, strong 2-houry. Then we rolled down to our favourite cafe in all the land, Coo, COOH in Alexandria. Tell them Tom and Eddie sent you. Pounded our usual lunch and Bloody Marys, and then shot over to Fox Sports to go and interview Gal and Garside, right? Huge day, long day. We love it though. It's great, great fun. But we were both very much looking forward to getting home and ripping the scab off a couple of tequilas and smashing them. Couple of stiff tequilas to just sort of take the edge off the day.
Yeah, the edge was taken off. Don't
It
worry about
was
that.
taken off.
Well
buddy.
and truly.
It was taken off. But after a couple of stiff techies, I
Nice and stiff, baby.
no, they were
Over ice.
stiff, mate. They were porn star stiff.
Tell you how stiff they are. Over ice, rip in.
Over ice,
That's all you need.
big stiff cube of ice.
I don't have the big stiff ones at home like we've got in the
I do.
office.
I
You
got the
need-
big blocks.
You need them, bruh.
Dude, I got the huge blocks. Like,
Otherwise, it gets watery like pretty
Dude.
quick. I got to pound them quick.
yeah, you do. The blocks that I've got at home are to scale, same size as the blocks used in the building of the Great Pyramids.
There you go.
So they're
it's a
huge.
block.
It's a block, and it just chills that bitch, and it doesn't melt, but it does eventually. But it doesn't, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
So after two stiffies, I was feeling suitably calm,
Yes.
and then Steph got back from her hip hop class.
Yep.
We had a little bit of a chat. And then both babies obviously asleep. Thank fuck. We've had some trouble with the sleep recently, but it was all good. Steph then nips off to bed and Dad goes, you know what this night needs? Just as a nightcap, just a little puff on the old vegan vape. So, you know, I don't vape in the house, obviously. Well, at least not when the family's around. But if I'm just by myself and I just want to have a little, that's kind of the beauty of it, right? You have a little, and then you're in the house, blow it out, you're all good. It just disappears. I don't know the science around like whether the vape can linger in the air and be a problem like if you come in the next morning, because Steph's like, don't vape in the house. I'm like, well, I won't when you're around me, but if you're not, I probably will. So I'm a little bit, well, I'm soothed from a couple of stiffies.
Yep. Suitably soothed.
Suitably soothed.
Yep.
I head over to my little vegan section.
Yep.
Which I have. Mm-hmm. The vegan section of the supermarket, if you will.
Yeah. High and
dry.
away.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. High and dry and far away from anyone's little hands. And quick little hit. Daddy not paying attention, blew the entire thing into the smoke alarm and set it off.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, dude. Set it off.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm such an idiot, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm such an idiot.
How long
Blew
did it go off for?
Bro, it went off and I'm like, holy
You know, you just wipe, you just go like that.
No,
You go-
dude, that's not all you do.
Does it go the whole apartment? Or
No,
like
thankfully
just
not.
yours?
Thank-
What do you mean?
not.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
You got to hit the button to stop it.
No. You just get a tea towel and go what and
Well, look,
and
it
wash
didn't-
it, and then it'll turn off straight away.
It didn't.
You didn't do that, though, did
Well,
you?
no, it didn't. But you can.
didn't do
But
that.
you know what's quicker than that? Hit a button, it stops. So I mean, you can swing a tea towel all you want. I might just hit a button. Now, I didn't have a tea towel on me, and I also didn't have like an immediate thing I could stand on to hit it.
That's why you use a tea towel,
Well, I didn't have a fucking tea towel.
because you don't have just. Would you?
If you don't have a tea towel or a stool, you're fucked. And I didn't have either.
you're more likely to have like a shirt or anything and a clothing item than a step ladder.
Listen, I don't know who I believe in this situation, but basically I'm frantically trying to jump up on the back of the couch and like lean over to fucking hit this thing to stop it. And I'm hitting one button, it's not working. I'm trying to hit the other one to get it to work. I'm basically just bashing it and I'm thinking, worst case scenario, I'm going to rip this thing off the roof and just take the battery out, because if I wake up babies and Steph, I'm fucking dead. Now, I did wake up Steph. I didn't wake up the babies, and, you know, I can only assume that there is a higher power at work, and he's working for me, or he was last night, or she, and was like, I'm not going to wake up the babies because, you know, Tom was just trying to take the edge off of a long, hard day. But Steph did come out, and she basically saw me standing on the fucking couch and, like, hitting this thing, and she's just like, did you vape inside? And I'm like, yes, I did. And yes, I did. I did vape inside. And she was like, and I was like, and then I explained, and I've vaped inside before and not set off the alarm, put it that way. It was an unfortunate turn of events that I vaped and blew it directly into the core of the fire alarm.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. You just, if you're gonna do it, just have a tea towel slung over your shoulder.
You know what, dude? I should just go to the window and just open it. Just,
yeah.
make
Well,
it
that means
easy.
it's raining or if it's cold. If you can't be fucked.
it's honestly, the beauty of this vegan vape is that you only just need to have one and then you're good.
And the one you had fucked you.
Yeah, it did.
Now, what happened then? Did you take yourself off to bed with your tail between your legs? Or
No,
did you just
look,
see it out?
Look, Steph's a very understanding woman. I wasn't in too much trouble. It was more of a like, if they wake up because of this,
You're in big trouble.
You're dealing with it. And that was like, oh, fuck.
Did you find that experience sobered you up enough that you had to have another hit?
No, it didn't,
Okay.
thankfully, because I don't want to get too veganed out, you know? It was just like, I don't want to get too veggie.
What'd you do then? Just sit on the couch?
No, I actually realised that I had left, because when she was out, I cooked myself dinner, salmon veg. And by cooked, the veg was already cooked. I just put salmon in an oven for 20 minutes. But I'd forgotten to clean up the kitchen. So I went in there and just whacked on a potty and just got to work, which is actually quite a nice thing to do rather than just sit there and be like, veggie. But look, it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve.
What have you learned?
Well, I learned that you don't blow a vape into a fire alarm.
I'm surprised you thought you could.
Well, I didn't. I just know that now you got to be aware.
Or put a sock over it.
Well, shout out to Bathurst because that's all we did.
Yeah.
Bro, that worked super
Dude,
well.
that worked unbelievably
when
well.
we were at uni, when we were in our tiny little dorms, and they all had
And
a
that was
smoke
small.
alarm. They were small. You could touch either wall like that. They were designed by someone who they won awards for efficiency in terms of space optimization.
Correct.
And they were designed by the same guy who designed prisons.
Correct. When you went in there, you were like, "This is a prison." It was like it took you a while to find out which way to go and where you were, and like staircases lead here and there and
dude.
everywhere.
Even by the end of it, I was still fucking getting lost. But like, if they had prison bars on your door instead of a door,
Yep.
you'd be like, oh yeah, this is a prison. That's all right, I get it.
Yeah,
I see how this
100%.
works. This is a really good prison, and not good. I just mean really well designed.
100%.
But we would put socks on the smoke alarms there, so we could smoke darts or whatever.
And then you'd go into the back of. Yeah, you could even smoke darts. Back of the fucking fan, and then.
Yeah, so you'd have a fan facing the window, facing outwards, so that all the air would blow through it.
Because it sucks the air
It
from
sucks
the back
the air
of it.
from the back of it and pushes it forward. So you'd have the fan blowing out the window and the sock over the thingo, and then you'd have something underneath the door so that people couldn't smell it. Although, again, I can't understand smell, and I'm assuming they could smell it.
That's,
But that was if you had the threes, that's like a home run.
Yeah.
You can't get caught.
3 essential items to tick off.
1, 2, 3.
But if you were outside, you would just see billows of smoke getting blasted out of windows
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, there's a reason you guys didn't study engineering when you were at uni.
Well, actually, we probably should have because it worked.
Well, from what you just said, it didn't sound like it worked.
What do you mean?
Well, there's smoke blowing out the door.
No,
At
out
the
the window,
window. Okay.
buddy.
There you go. Well,
Yeah,
you
we
should have
should've
Out
studied
the window to
engineering,
the
yeah.
outside world, bro. Nothing to
Okay.
see here.
Nothing.
You see the windows because these prison cells did have windows, so you could see the window from like the outside.
And you could open them, funnily enough.
yeah. So you could escape if you wanted to, but anyway, that's a side note. Who's playing the rugby league tonight? Thanks to KO.
Thanks to our dear friends at KO. Now, the Rabbitohs versus the Broncos. Like, do we care about the Rabbitohs or the Broncos? I don't personally.
No, but it's good because it's Thursday and it's rugby league, and that's what Thursday brings us now. Is it's like, okay, the week's over essentially, and we just get to Thursday night. We get to put the feet up and watch some fucking footy.
Well, that was my point. That even if we don't care,
You
it
didn't
doesn't
make that
matter.
point, did you?
Well, I was
You
about
didn't-
to
you didn't
elaborate.
Make that point, did you?
I was about to elaborate.
Okay.
That it doesn't matter who's playing. You just fucking sit back and you pour yourself a couple of stiffies
Couple of stiffies.
and you put your feet up.
Yep.
Thursday's always been about getting suitably horizontal.
Yes. I'd even say it's probably not fully horizontal. It's like
Suitably.
maybe it's like 90
Suitably.
degrees.
Like as in your feet are up, but you're
Yeah.
not laid back. You're not sogged like this.
No. So is it more of a 90 degrees?
I think you need to be at
is it-
45.
It's an obtuse angle.
You'd be at 45, wouldn't you? Isn't this 45?
Look, 90 is that.
90's flat.
Well, if you're
No,
sitting
that's
at
180.
No, that's 180.
if you're sitting up
90's that.
straight, like
So, yeah,
perfect
what-
posture,
you're 90.
you're 90.
So, but if you're going a little bit beyond, so you might be like 95,
Maybe
100,
Yeah, you'd be at
100,
100.
105.
I don't think you want to be beyond 120.
No, you definitely don't want to go beyond 120 because it's still Thursday. Like you still have to go to work tomorrow.
No, but even still, you've got the whole weekend to look forward to.
Yes.
So you don't want to be getting beyond 120.
No.
Like I think I would if you told me that you were sitting at 90, I'd go. That's
could probably-
I'd go. That's pretty intense. Like
Yeah.
I don't know why you're sitting so bolt upright.
Yeah, you're not in a work meeting. You're not
No,
in a board meeting.
exactly. And also, you're not like smiling for a photo.
No.
Get back to 100, 110, and pour yourself a stiff one. And put
Yeah.
the rugby league on. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Now, who do I think will win? I think the Rabbitohs will fucking pump them. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
I
That's
think
in
so.
my heart of hearts because Payne Haas is out and Curdy Capel of Glory Hole fame's not playing. So that's how I see it unfolding. But then there's always that little thing, Tom, of like,
Broncos are doing
what
it.
does Reynolds do here? Because he hasn't played the Bunnies yet. Because if you remember, they were touted to open the season.
But
Reynolds didn't play.
You got Covey.
See, this is his chance to give his old club the big fuck you.
Yeah, I'd like for him to do that. To be honest, I want the Broncos to win this. I think.
You want the Broncos to win so that Reynolds can give the Rabbitohs the big
Well,
fuck
like,
you?
fuck the Rabbitohs. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Fuck them. I don't care about the Rabbitohs.
I don't care who wins, but I do like Reynolds. So if
And they fucked him.
well, they did. Sort of. No 2-year contracts for you, bruh.
No.
Which still remains outrageous. There is a fixture, Tom, that I have got penciled into the diary. Saturday. Manly.
Yep.
West Tigers.
Yep.
Brookvale Oval.
3 p.m.
HD Light. Burbo. Turbo. Gerbo. Alloway. Schuster. Are all going to be fucking swinging their big giant hogs around.
Olakwatu.
Obviously, but like...
Daly Cherry Evans.
Well, Kieran Foran.
Ruben Garrick.
Ruben Garrick. Stubby Gula. Canicola.
Kenny Collar. Look, they're all going to be
Tilly
out.
below too.
That's right. They're all going to be out there ripping and tearing.
They are.
And I have never been, I don't think, Tom, more concerned for the welfare of a side than I am for the Tigers.
Yeah,
Because they're going to
yeah.
get, it's going to be one of the great rugby league humpings of our time.
Yep.
Because you know why, Dior Dave?
Why is that, Eddie?
Because the stars have aligned.
This is actually one of those, you know how you always get this thing that's like, oh, stargazers, go and look at the sky because we're going to see Saturn, Uranus and Neptune all in a line tonight.
And we're going through a bit of a meteor shower at the moment. So look up and you might see one every 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's the same. They're actually talking about it now. All the real starries, they're called. They're saying stars have aligned for a great rugby league humping. If you are a fan of the celestial, then go outside on Saturday, 3 p.m. and watch the stars align as Manly hump the Tigers into the ground.
Into the ground. Burbo will get his first.
Yep.
In Manly colours. Almost certainly set up by a big bro, Tom. I think that'll be a nice piece of rugby league history when that goes down.
When that happens.
Josh Schuster of Playing with No Eyes fame,
Eyeless.
he can only get better after blowing out the cobwebs last week. He was good last week.
He looked very good. Ooh.
But imagine what he's going to be like this week.
I will say this, and it changes nothing, but because obviously what's worse for the Tigers is that they've got no Faluma or Luciano Leilua. They're still without Dane Laurie at fullback, so they've got Stafford Toa, but they have got Stefano Utoikamanu back, who is a rugby league handful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a big fan. Unfortunately for Stefano, we're going to have to pound him into the earth. Our bench, Dylan Walker, go back down, I want to see it. Dilly Walks, Ethan Bullymore, Josh Alloway back is huge. Toa Fafoa Sipley. So who are the starting props? Kepi and Marty, is it? I wouldn't be surprised to see Kepi and Alloway switch before kickoff, but
Well, we've seen it before.
we have seen it before. Yeah, dude, humpings all round.
Jason Saab loses his spot.
He's injured.
Oh, he's injured.
Yeah, he's not dropped. He's got a toe injury.
Okay. I was like, ooh, interesting. Bold.
No. He's got a toe injury. But, I mean, Tuipulotu's playing well. You don't ever want to, like, Saab's not in great form, so you don't want to have to give anyone an opportunity, but it is what it is.
Well, it is what it is. Especially if he scores a hat-trick this weekend.
I will be at the game.
Tommy will be at the game.
First time for me at Brookie this season, so I'm really horny for it.
Good man.
Really. Hope to see plenty of 13-plus jumpers out there, punters and dribblers. They went like hotcakes. And I tell you what,
They
Eddie,
better be on.
there's nothing like a dribbler who's had all the time in the world to get ready for the sale of a 13-plus jumper to then obviously not get one, but it seemingly through lack of organisation, to then get into the DMs and go, dude, any way I can get one? Any more left? No, bro, they're gone.
They're all gone. Like that sale that we had the other day was like a clearance sale. We said that many times.
Gone.
Which means that all of them were gone. We don't want that shit in the office anymore. We just don't. It's clutter.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just like
Well,
it's
you've
not-
got boxes.
It's just boxes.
Boxes are clutter.
The content is like what's in the
content's
box
gold.
is great. It's golden, baby. But the boxes are clutter. And Thomas and I were spring cleaning, and we said we've had enough. We're autumn cleaning, but you know what I mean.
It's a term, Eddie.
So there's none left. Stiff
Sorry,
shit.
but you know what's coming up?
Oh yeah, that's right. The do your own research jumper. It's special. It's a hoodie, really.
It's a hoodie, all right? It's a hoodie of consequence. I'd be moving your mic if you're trying to get anyone to see that. That couldn't be the worst. That might be the worst attempt at selling something I've ever seen. You can't even see Dior on you, you fucking idiot.
Not working?
No, not working. Dior hoodies, punters, dribblers. Dior hoodies. And, sorry, talking into your mics. Dior hoodies and the back. I don't know if you can see it. This is me obviously using quads to engage. Oh,
What a hoodie.
yeah, what a hoodie. A hoodie's hoodie.
Well, it's a statement piece, Tom.
It is a statement piece. The do your own research hoodies. They're, look, a couple of weeks away, but not for
Well,
us.
ours aren't.
Ours aren't. Ours are here now.
We're in ours.
So these are going to be going on sale
These
with
are fucking comfortable,
the
Tom.
Summer Tan hats. The 2022 membership is the Summer Tan hat.
They're backed by popular demand. We've had many an inbox asking, when are the hats coming back? When are the hats coming back? When are the hats coming back? Where they're coming back in 2 weeks' time. Guess what? We're not doing them again after this.
No.
This will be it. You know how you said the same thing? Well, punters and dribblers will make them. We haven't.
Told ya.
We told you. Once we do something, we move on, and they become a collector's item. Someone bought a punters and dribblers hat the other day for $400. Think about that.
Yeah.
That'll be the Summer Tan, bruh, in a year's time. So you have an opportunity here to not only get your 2022 membership, but also own a piece of history, a piece of art, something that you can give to the grandchildren, something
Or
that can pass down.
NFTs, digital art. Fuck digital art. How about real art? How about art you
Mate,
can hold?
look.
Wear.
All that
Wearable art.
NFT's cute, bruh. I mean, all that shit's really cute. But you know what's fucking better than all that shit? Owning something, holding something in your hand.
Tangible, wearable art.
Like, put it this way, you've had a fucking long, hard day on the tools, and all you can think about is a very ice-cold schooner, right? That's all you can think about.
Or a stiff one.
Or a stiff tequila. Imagine if someone was like, oi, why don't you enjoy that in fucking digital form?
How's that work?
Where the fuck does that get me? I'm still thirsty as fuck. Even though I own a beer on the internet, what is that?
Oh, cool. I own a digital
Sweet.
beer. Why don't
Sweet.
you fucking just put a bullet in my head then? If that's the world I'm living in, I'm done.
So forget the digital, baby, and embrace the physical. And that's what this Dior do your own research jumper is. It's all physical. It's all real. It's all now. It's all touchable. It's all tangible. And then the hat to top that off. Do you know what goes well with fucking charcoal, Tom? Do you know what goes well with charcoal?
What goes well with charcoal, Eddie? I would love for you to enlighten
Well,
me.
I'm waiting for the punters and the dribblers. They're all asking themselves collectively.
It's like an episode of Dora the Explorer.
Do you know what I mean? What is it? What is it? I wonder what it. Boom. Boom.
Sorry.
Cream and charcoal, baby. That's how
Sorry.
it's done.
Sincerely apologize.
That's how it's done.
Sorry about it.
So you need to make smart fucking decisions in 2 weeks' time because
Ish.
these things are going to be all the rage. And like everything, we don't have unlimited numbers because we're not a fashion company.
No.
Although we make fashionable
We
items.
make fashion, but we aren't. It's not our MO. It's not our number one. Our bread and butter is dribbling yarn with a side of fashion.
with a side of fashion.
Yeah.
So we'll do sides of fashion, but in doing so, numbers will be limited. Like not super limited. Like we still do 1 million or two, but there's not 3 million.
There's not 3 million.
Do you know what I mean?
We're not 3 million.
We could
operators.
sell 3 million, but we don't want to.
We want to keep it scarce.
Yeah. Scarcity is important. Scarcity. We'll ask fucking coin collectors. It's all about scarcity. You know what I mean?
Or the artificial diamond market. And I don't mean
Artificial?
not artificial diamonds, but the artificially
inflated diamond
artificially inflated diamond
Yeah,
market. They
I mean,
withhold diamonds to keep the price high.
That's right.
Now, we're not withholding diamonds, but you could argue these are diamonds. Wearable diamonds?
I don't think that's too long of a bow to draw. These are wearable diamonds.
Now, some people say, well, diamonds are wearable. And I'd say, but are they wearable?
Do you fit into the diamond?
No.
Are you in the diamond?
You're not
No,
in the
you're
diamond.
The diamond sits on top of you. I'm in this fucker.
Yeah. We're in diamonds.
We're in them for the first time in human history.
People are wearing diamonds.
People are wearing two hot people, Tom and Eddie. Now, do you want to be hot and wrapped up in a diamond too? Well, keep your fucking eyes peeled, bro, because details will come.
Diamonds are coming.
And they'll come quick. They'll come quick. We have also sharpened up our processes.
Well said.
So
That's French.
it is French, and I'm speaking French because I'm feeling so luxurious. Our website will not quit now.
Well, it didn't crash last time, did it?
It doesn't have quit in it.
Sorry.
It doesn't have quit in it. Problem solved, bruh.
502 gateways be gone.
Look, we enjoyed them. They were a funny time in our lives, but it also caused Tom and I great stress. And if I had another one of them, I wouldn't have been long for this world.
No.
So that's been fixed. Fulfillment has also been outsourced. So it's all going to be super smooth.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was smooth before? It wasn't.
Try packaging up 1 million hats.
Yeah. We set the record for the most packages packaged inside of a day, and it was 1.5 million.
And it was the longest cunt of a day I've ever had.
And we and Dave did most of it.
Well, Dave and
the girls.
the girls
and Braden.
and Braden. Can't forget Braden.
No, we can't forget.
There was
Braden. Shout out to Braden.
there was helpers, but like we'll take all the glory, obviously. Anyway, it's been outsourced. So
I think we've had enough of a chat about our merch. You get it. Do you want to hear anything else? Do you want to hear about our tax? The tax side of things, how we pay tax?
So the tax basically is we take GST
Yeah.
on behalf of the government. We
Yeah.
hold it.
Okay.
And then along with our PAYG every quarter, Tom, that's paid as what's known as the BAS.
Okay. All right.
The business activity statement.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So the GST that we've collected on behalf of the government from our sponsorship and from the punter and the dribbler, okay, we keep in a bank account.
Yep.
And then when I pay you every week, I also withhold your tax, okay,
Yep.
and that's paid once. It's paid quarterly.
Okay. That's
Part of the
quarterly.
BAS.
That's a quarterly. That's BAS. Okay. Great. And then that's about it from us.
Yep, that's about it. So I think this is where you'll find that you found yourself at the end of the podcast.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
we start talking about BAS,
PAYG,
PAYG and GST,
GST.
and all manner of things.
accounts receivables.
Accounts receivables, accounts outgoing,
Payables.
balance sheets,
Yep.
ingoings, outgoings.
Invoices.
Invoicing.
Outvoices.
Outvoicing, invoicing. I mean, it's a vibe, man. But we love you all. We'll be back on Tuesday.
Bye.
Back on Tuesday, bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?